Good morning, America. For our viewers in the West, the president's new travel ban, meat prices on the rise, and the NBA Finals are here. New overnight, President Trump brings back his travel ban, blocking people from a dozen countries from entering the U.S., adding restrictions to 7 others. The fallout this morning.
Growing rift between the president and Elon Musk. The world's richest man stepping up his attack on Trump's signature bill, calling on his followers to help kill the bill, warning it will explode the national debt as Trump pushes to get it across the finish line.
New video showing the bombing of a California fertility clinic from inside the building, as the FBI says it has arrested an alleged accomplice of the suspect killed in the blast.
Dramatic testimony. Cassie Ventura's close friend on the stand, accusing Sean Diddy Combs of dangling her from a 17th floor balcony. Another accuser set to take the stand.
The case against Luigi Mangione. Prosecutors claiming in new court filings they have handwritten notes providing unambiguous evidence of his motive and what they say Mangione was doing the night before he allegedly gunned down the CEO of United Healthcare.
Out of bounds. The fallout after Olympic gold medalist Gabby Thomas was relentlessly heckled at a race.
You're going down, Gabby! You're going down, Gabby!
While he said he intentionally wanted to throw the track star off her game, relating to a bet and what she's saying this morning.
Millions across the South on alert for severe weather as the smoke from the out-of-control Canadian wildfires drifts over the Midwest. Ginger is tracking it all.
Game on. Overnight, after 8 years, fans celebrating the highly anticipated release of the Nintendo Switch 2. And we're hours away from tip-off. Thunder, Pacers, gearing up for Game 1. Will Reeve went one-on-one with the NBA stars, as they say.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Live from Times Square, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
Will Reeve really went one-on-one with them?
Yeah. Not in basketball. No.
Good morning, America. Hope you're doing well this morning.
We're excited to see Will coming up. Also ahead, as grilling season heats up, the price of your burger is going up. We're going to break down what's behind the rising costs and what you can do to stretch that dollar.
But we begin this morning with President Trump imposing a travel ban to the U.S. on a dozen countries and partial restrictions on entry to the U.S. from several more. Our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, has the story for us. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Michael. Well, President Trump is now reviving and expanding one of his most controversial policies, targeting a dozen countries with a full travel ban. It means no visitors from these countries, no temporary trips, no permanent moves, and it is sure to face legal challenges. Overnight, President Trump announcing a dramatic escalation in his immigration crackdown.
Very simply, we cannot have open migration from any country where we cannot safely and reliably vet and screen those who seek to enter the United States.
Trump saying that as of midnight on Monday, he is blocking people from 12 countries from entering the U.S., citing national security concerns. The ban mostly impacting travelers from the Middle East and Africa, including Afghanistan, Burma, also known as Myanmar, Chad, the Republic of the Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. Another 7 countries facing partial travel restrictions. People from Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo, Turkmenistan, and Venezuela will now be unable to come to the U.S. permanently or get student or tourist visas. The White House says they're targeting countries that lack proper vetting, fail to share identity and threat information, or exhibit high visa overstay rates. The president says he's acting now in part because of the recent attack in Boulder, Colorado. An Egyptian man who overstayed his visa charged with a federal hate crime for attacking a group of demonstrators advocating for hostages being held in Gaza.
The recent terror attack in Boulder, Colorado, has underscored the extreme dangers posed to our country by the entry of foreign nationals who are not properly vetted, as well as those who come here as temporary visitors and overstay their visas. We don't want them.
Egypt is not one of the countries included in the ban, though the president is asking his team to review the country's practices and procedures. The new restrictions reminiscent of one of the most chaotic and controversial orders of Trump's first term. Trump barring travel from several Muslim-majority countries, an effort that faced swift legal challenges and was ultimately heavily restricted by the courts. But on the campaign trail, Trump promised to revive it. This new ban is much broader in scope than Trump's first attempt, but still certain to face legal challenges. There is significant overlap between Trump's original 2017 travel ban and this new effort. The only countries not included this go-round, Iraq and Syria. This morning, the African Union reacting to the ban, saying in a statement, while recognizing the sovereign right of all nations to protect their borders and ensure the security of their citizens, the African Union Commission respectfully appeals to the United States to exercise this right in a manner that is balanced, evidence-based, and reflective of the long-standing partnership between the United States and Africa. Now, this is just the latest escalation in the president's aggressive immigration policies. The president is also announcing plans to block Harvard University's international students from entering the U.S., a move that may violate a recent court order. George.
Mary Bruce, thanks. We're going to turn now to the battle over President Trump's budget bill. Elon Musk is stepping up his attacks, calling on his supporters to help kill the bill, projected to add more than $2 trillion to the national debt. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott. Good morning, Rachel.
Hey, George, good morning to you. And Elon Musk is not backing down. He's now launched a pressure campaign against this bill as the president is pushing senators to get behind it.
This morning, a growing rift between the president and Elon Musk, the architect behind the massive shakeups that marked Trump's first 100 days. The billionaire, who spent more than $270 million of his own money to help get the president and other Republicans elected, called Trump's signature budget bill a disgusting abomination. Musk now ramping up the pressure, writing, "Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill." Musk warning about the level of spending in the bill, which the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office estimates will add $2.4 trillion to the national debt. Sources tell us he also expressed frustration that the bill cuts the electric vehicle tax credit, which benefits owners of electric vehicles, including Tesla, and that he personally pushed senior lawmakers, including Speaker Mike Johnson, to keep it in. Johnson telling reporters the president was not pleased by those comments from Musk.
As you know, he's not delighted that Elon did a 180 on that. But look, I don't know what happened in 24 hours. Everybody can draw their own conclusions about that.
Other Republicans pushing back.
He's one man. He's not my constituent. He's not even a donor that I know of. So, he's one guy.
Give us some productive feedback that we can operate on. I can't operate on platitudes, or I can't respond.
The president meeting with key senators at the White House, urging them to pass the package, which extends the 2017 Trump-era tax cuts, sets aside nearly $50 billion to resume construction on the border wall, and pushes work requirements for Medicaid. By some estimates, the changes to Medicaid would force 11 million Americans to lose their health insurance over 10 years. Jesus Acosta is his mom's full-time caretaker after she was hit by a car. He worries she would be one of those millions of Americans.
She relies on Medicaid for her medication, for her doctor visits, pain management. And if Medicaid gets cut, then that would be an expense that's coming out of my pocket. And I would have to be forced to work more hours and spend less time providing care for my mom.
So Musk is also calling on Republicans to rip up the bill, but senators I've spoken to say they do not have time to start all over, especially because the president wants this bill on his desk by July 4th. As for now, President Trump, we still have not heard from him directly on these comments by Elon Musk. Rebecca?
All right, Rachel, thank you. We turn now to the air quality alert across parts of the Midwest caused by smoke from the Canadian wildfires, and Ginger is tracking it all with the Chicago skyline behind her. Good morning,
Yes,
Ginger.
hey, good morning. So we have Chicago behind me because if you look around the world at the biggest cities, Chicago has the second worst air quality currently. And so we're talking about unhealthy to the point where you go out, you don't want to spend a lot of time outdoors, especially if you're trying to be active. Second worst in the world. And this is going to stick around, these air quality alerts, until midnight tonight. That has to do with that particulate in the air from the wildfire smoke from Canada. It's not just Chicago, it's through Wisconsin, parts of northern Michigan, Traverse City, you're in there, northern Indiana, and until noon, eastern Nebraska, still has those alerts up. We've been seeing the hazy skies, so it's much higher in the atmosphere east of the front, but the storms are going to come through and break that apart Friday into Saturday for parts of the mid-Atlantic and Northeast. What we end up doing then is watching the new storm. And for the Oklahoma City Thunder, there might be some thunder, especially into the overnight hours. Hail is one of the biggest concerns here in the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas, but then also damaging wind. You could see an isolated tornado, even some flash flooding all the way down to Alpine. But the kind of general thunderstorms go along that cold front. And then tomorrow we've got this too, Michael. So we're watching a couple of days of severe weather here.
All right, we know you got us covered. All right, thank you, Ginger. Appreciate that. We're going to go now to the latest on the war in Ukraine. Vladimir Putin says Russia will retaliate against Ukraine for its drone attack targeting air bases deep inside Russia. Our chief global affairs anchor, Martha Raddatz, is on the scene in Ukraine. Good morning, Martha.
Good morning, Michael. This morning here in Ukraine, Russia on the offense and promising further retaliation after Ukraine's bold attack on Russia's warplanes. Overnight, Russia launching a series of brutal strikes against Ukraine. Officials say over 100 Russian drones and a ballistic missile struck targets all over the country, leaving several people dead and dozens injured. Here you can see explosions across the southern city of Kherson. Ukrainian officials say Russia dropped 4 guided bombs in the center of the city, badly damaging its government buildings. The attacks come as new video shows Ukraine's astonishingly well-coordinated drone attack, known as Operation Spiderweb, that left Russia stunned and some of its warplanes in flames. U.S. officials saying a swarm of 100 drones hidden atop trucks and containers with retractable roofs descending on multiple airfields deep inside Russia. These satellite images show the aftermath, multiple nuclear-capable aircraft destroyed.
I think that it's very important now to start to speak with Russia in the languages of strength, because it's one language which this country understands.
Days following the extraordinary strike, another blow to Russia, Ukraine detonating bombs underneath the only bridge connecting Russia to occupied Crimea. Vladimir Putin in a call with President Trump vowing retaliation. President Trump posting, Putin did say, and very strongly, that he will have to respond to the recent attack. Ukraine is now braced for further attacks, prompting the U.S. Embassy here in Ukraine to warn citizens to seek out shelter locations and gather reserves of food, water, and medication. George?
Martha Raddatz, thanks. We'll return now to the arrest of a new suspect in the car bombing outside of a Palm Springs fertility clinic. A man is accused of providing the ammonium nitrate for the bomb, and there's new video from inside the building at the moment of the blast. Chief Justice Correspondent Pierre Thomas has the story. Good morning, Pierre.
George, good morning. This investigation is far from over as the FBI tries to make sure no one else is involved in what they're calling a conspiracy, leading to the biggest and most sophisticated U.S. bombing in years.
This morning, stunning new video from inside the building at the moment that powerful bomb nearly destroyed that California fertility clinic, as the FBI says that the suspect killed in the blast had an accomplice. Daniel Park is accused of helping the alleged bomber Guy Barkus develop an ammonium nitrate car bomb.
Park was in possession of an explosive recipe that was similar to the Oklahoma City bombing.
Park was arrested at JFK International Airport Tuesday after being deported from Poland, where he had been detained at the request of the DOJ. Authorities say he fled the U.S. to Warsaw 4 days after that Palm Springs bombing that injured 4 people. Prosecutors claimed that Park flew to Palm Springs for 2 weeks in mid-January to experiment on the design of the bomb in the garage of Barkus. According to DOJ, Park also shipped about 180 pounds of ammonium nitrate to the alleged bomber.
The FBI is calling the 2 men nihilist extremists who targeted the fertility clinic because they want the human race to become extinct. Rebecca?
All right, Pierre, thank you. We turn now to the Sean Diddy Combs trial, a new testimony from a woman who alleges Combs dangled her over a 17th floor balcony. Chief Investigative Correspondent Aaron Katersky is at the courthouse with more. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning to you, Rebecca. An alleged sex trafficking victim is expected to testify here today that Sean Combs used lies, drugs, and threats to force her into freak-offs. After the jury hears more from a different woman who claims Combs hoisted her over that balcony. This morning, a critical witness for the prosecution, a woman testifying under the pseudonym Jane, who prosecutors say began a secret relationship with Sean Combs in 2020 and spent years in hotel rooms for forced sex. Jane's testimony will follow the cross-examination of Brianna Bongolan, known as Bonna, who described years of drug use with her friend Cassie Ventura.
Cassie, all the way right!
And she testified Ventura FaceTimed her before the premiere of her movie The Perfect Match.
I want to try something new.
What did you see? Prosecutors asked. Her black eye, Bongolan said. I was a little quiet, and I remember saying, I'm sorry. Bongolan testified Combs once hoisted her over this balcony after barging into Ventura's apartment on the 17th floor. For a split second, I was thinking about if I was going to fall. She said Combs kept yelling at her, you know what the expletive you did, before throwing her onto this furniture, leaving bruises. Combs denied it happened, and the defense challenged her account. Isn't it true you told the government just 2 days ago you couldn't recall the details of what happened on the balcony, a defense attorney asked? Bongolan replied, I don't remember. Once Bongolan's testimony concludes, the jury will hear from Jane. She's a key figure in the government's second sex trafficking count against Sean Combs. George, he denies all the charges. George.
Aaron Kaczynski, thanks. We have an alert now about the rising price of meat. Beef prices are shooting up. Eva Pilgrim here to explain what's behind the increase and some ways to save. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. Just in time as we fire up the barbecue, the price of that burger is up and it's only expected to go higher. The reason beef prices are climbing, we just don't have the cows. Cattle numbers are at a multi-decade low, so this is a basic supply and demand issue. Just like we learned in school, we have more demand and limited supply. Prices go up, and that's exactly what we've seen. When you look at prices this past May compared to May of 2024, fresh ground beef, $7.34, up 10.4% from a year ago. Beef roasts, $7.57, up 10.9% from a year ago. Ribs, more than $7, up more than 8% from a year ago. Steaks, the list goes on and on. $10.89, up 8.4%. And it's not just beef that's going to cost you more. Combo packs of chicken, $3.17. That's up a whopping 27.2% from a year ago. So if you're trying to stretch your dollar, buy bulk and freeze it. Hopefully you have space in your freezer.
Wow, those are some real increases right there. Sam's Club is giving people a break?
Yeah, this is really interesting. So they have a deal right now that costs $20 for their basic plan. That's down from the usual $50. And the Plus membership will run you $60. It's normally $110, but act fast because these prices only last until June 16th.
Eva Pilgrim, thanks very much. Coming up, the latest on the case against Luigi Mangione. Prosecutors say they have unambiguous evidence of his motive in the shooting of United Healthcare's CEO, also a confession.
Plus, the release 8 years in the making. Fans lined up all night to get the new Nintendo Switch.
And Will is in Oklahoma getting ready for the NBA Finals. Hey, Will.
Hello, good morning, everyone. I am in an undisclosed location for reasons that will become clear, but we are in Oklahoma ahead of Game 1, and I sat down with the stars from both teams, getting all the details on their childhood dreams coming true ahead of this game.
Coming up, an update from Billy Joel overnight. You stay right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back to GMA. That is a classic from Billy Joel. And we have an update from the moving out singer overnight. Sam Champion, going to have all the details on that just ahead.
Yeah, that is vintage. What a powerful voice right there. Looking forward to the doc and hearing about him. First, new at 7:30, Israel says it has now recovered of 2 Israeli-American hostages. Judy Weinstein Haggai and Gadi Haggai were abducted while walking near their home during the October 7th attack. Also, the suspect accused of throwing Molotov cocktails at a group advocating for Israeli hostages being held by Hamas is due in court today. Mohammed Soliman is facing federal hate crime charges, multiple counts of attempted first-degree murder. 15 people ranging in age from 25 to 88 years old were injured in the attack.
And overnight excitement over Nintendo Switch 2. Some gamers lined up for days to get their hands on one. This release comes 8 years after its predecessor, which sold more than 152 million consoles worldwide. Pre-orders for this new version sold out in minutes back in April. It'll have a bigger screen, high-definition display, improved graphics, and modified controls for new games. Very exciting there. And it took overtime to decide Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Final. The Edmonton Oilers superstar Connor McDavid finding his teammate Leon Draisaitl with seconds to go in the first OT for the winning goal, sending the fans inside and outside the arena in Edmonton into a frenzy. Game 2 is tomorrow night.
Now to the latest on Luigi Mangione, charged with murdering United Healthcare Chief Executive Brian Thompson. In a new court filing, prosecutors say Mangione surveyed Thompson the night before he was gunned down outside a New York City hotel. Aaron Katursky back with that story. Hey, Aaron.
Hey, George, we're now getting a look at an accused killer's handwritten diary and what prosecutors call his confession to the FBI. And they say there should now be no doubt the case against Luigi Mangione is open and shut. This morning, prosecutors say this handwritten diary makes clear Luigi Mangione deliberately gunned down United Healthcare Chief Brian Thompson to send a message and trigger widespread action. 4 months before the murder, Mangione allegedly writing, "I finally feel confident about what I will do. The details are coming together, and I don't feel any doubt about whether it's right, justified." He allegedly wrote, "The target is insurance. It checks every box." Mangione, who escaped New York by bus after Thompson's killing and was caught at a McDonald's in Altoona, Pennsylvania, has pleaded not guilty to charges including murder as a crime of terrorism. He asked the court last month to dismiss the indictment, but the Manhattan District Attorney's Office now defending the case, saying Mangione marked his bullets with the words deny, delay, depose, signaling intent to violently broadcast a social and political message to the public at large.
He talks about what he's planning to do as revolutionary. And all of those things show intent, intent to coerce civilians, in perhaps also to influence the government, specifically the healthcare system in this country.
And prosecutors say the diary shows Mangione even picked out his own news headline, "Insurance CEO Killed at Annual Investors Conference." That's where Thompson was headed December 4th when he was shot outside the Hilton in Midtown Manhattan just before 7 a.m. The night before, prosecutors say Mangione stalked Thompson. He appeared to be talking on a cell phone, and as he walked down the street, Mr. Thompson walked past him in the opposite direction. The murder had a chilling effect. Prosecutors say some United Healthcare employees quit out of fear of retribution. Others refused to sign letters denying insurance coverage. And one executive dyed her hair and moved into a temporary home out of fear for her safety. Mangione has argued the state prosecution should be dropped so he can focus on the federal case that could get him the death penalty. The Manhattan DA's office balked and chided defense lawyers over Mangione's online legal defense fund, which has now raised more than $1 million. Certainly, these funds can be used to hire new counsel should the task of representing defendant in multiple proceedings be too onerous. Mangione is due back in court toward the end of the month when the judge could set a trial date. Prosecutors say they are hard-pressed to find a case with such overwhelming evidence of guilt. Guys?
All right, Aaron, thank you for bringing that to us. Appreciate you. And we're going to shift gears now to Game 1 of the NBA Finals, set to tip off tonight with the Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Indiana Pacers. Both franchises are hoping to bring home the first NBA championship to their respective cities. Our Will Reeve is in Oklahoma for us. Good morning, Will.
Hey, good morning, Michael. The NBA Finals are finally here, and the Oklahoma City Thunder and Indiana Pacers have had the two best records in the NBA in the calendar year 2025, all of which is to say this is going to be some high-level basketball played by players who, as you are about to see from our sit-down, are about to realize childhood dreams.
It's been a quarter of a century since Indiana has gone to the finals.
The Oklahoma City Thunder are going back to the NBA Finals.
This morning, it's almost time for tip-off of Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
This is the peak of basketball, the peak of our sport.
For me, winning is most important.
The Oklahoma City Thunder hosting the Indiana Pacers. OKC pacing the NBA with 68 wins this season, led by league MVP Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
So what does America need to know about SGA?
He loves basketball to his core, loves his family, loves his friends, loves fashion.
One humble superstar facing off against another, but with a more brash personality on the court. Two-time All-Star Tyrese Halliburton knows his Pacers are underdogs, but that is just how they like it.
I wouldn't want it any other way. I think our team thrives in that.
The Pacers have never won an NBA title. The Thunder haven't either.
The Seattle
Supersonics.
But their previous incarnation, the Seattle Supersonics, did win once in 1979.
How does the reality of being in the NBA Finals compare to your childhood dream of making it here?
There is no comparison, to be honest.
Falls down, gets it to Williams, three-pointer.
This moment, the culmination of a lifelong preparation and commitment.
It's definitely hard to keep your mind from wandering back to, when you were a kid watching these games, and now you have the opportunity to play in them.
I definitely don't know where I would be without basketball.
It's just basketball. It's the game that I've played since I was 10, and I think as long as you look at it like that, everything else is just for show.
So every game of the NBA Finals is huge, but tonight is perhaps the most important. George, here is your stat for you. Teams that win Game 1 of the Finals go on to win the title 70.5% of the time. And Game 1 is tonight at 8:30 Eastern on ABC. And that's in Oklahoma City, which is not where I am right now. We are in an undisclosed location in Northeast Oklahoma because we're about to surprise a deserving coach and teacher that is coming up in our second hour. Can't wait to do that.
Yeah, we are looking forward to that, and we're going to watch that stat.
Yeah. And I heard Will was shooting like three-pointers before the thing. He was like 0 for 20. That's a whole other story.
Oh, we have a great group of people outside doing the wave. We love it. Thank you, guys. Thanks for coming and showing up at GMA this morning. We're going to start now with covering the fallout after a man relentlessly heckled Olympic gold medalist Gabby Thomas at a track meet. And Eva Pilgrim is back with the video of this. And Eva, this was all over a bet?
Yeah, Rebecca, all over a bet. Sports betting is a multi-billion-dollar industry, bringing in nearly $14 billion last year here in the U.S., and it's growing. And with it, so are the issues between athletes and bettors.
That's right, Gabby.
This morning, heckler banned. Olympic gold medalist Gabby Thomas speaking out about an uncomfortable incident at a recent track meet.
Don't choke Gabby like you did yesterday, Gabby.
You can see in this video a man who says he bet on Thomas's race, shouting at her, celebrating her loss.
You're going down, Gabby. You're going down, Gabby.
At one point, even attacking her husband's race.
Melissa got married this year, got a black husband. Yo! Gabby got a white guy. Yeah! I want Melissa to win.
Later, the man posting, I made Gabby lose by heckling her, and it made my parlay win. Thomas calling out the man's behavior. This grown man followed me around the track as I took pictures and signed autographs for fans, mostly children, shouting personal insults. Anybody who enables him online is gross. The man denies these claims.
The incidents themselves seem to be increasing. They've seen an uptick in it since the sports betting has started expanding across the U.S. And I think that the line is going to be crossed when you find people who are doing the heckling intentionally trying to help their bet.
FanDuel telling ABC News it's banned the man from their platform. But this just the latest incident of bettors behaving badly. Knicks star Jalen Brunson claims he gets threats after nearly every game, some against his daughter. And last month, police say a bettor sent death threats to Astros pitcher Lance McCullers.
I understand people are very passionate and people love the Astros and love sports, but threatening to find my kids and murder them is a little bit tough to deal with.
The issue also affecting college sports. An NCAA survey finding many high-profile men and women reported experiencing harassment from someone with a betting interest in their competition, including 17% of Division I men's basketball student athletes. The NCAA even putting out an ad called Don't Be a Loser.
Only a loser would harass college athletes after losing a bet. But it happens almost every day.
And this is interesting. The NCAA found that one of the most common forms of abuse that these college athletes are seeing is from what they call angry bettors.
Which, I mean, when you listen to that tape, it's pretty disgusting, and people are clearly crossing the line here in some cases. The NCAA is trying to crack down on this harassment.
Yeah, so the NCAA in some states, as you can imagine, you can bet on pretty much everything, you know, and when it's related to sports, but they're trying to push to ban at least severely restrict bets on players' performances, individual players. It's called player prop bets. They're hoping that will eliminate some of this that's directly at one person.
I bet they don't get that done. I'm joking.
We'll have to see, Michael.
Bad joke. It's early, people. All right. Now, with scenes from an Italian restaurant, Sam has the scenes from A Special Night for Billy Joel.
Oh, I feel like we're finally appreciating him in exactly the way that he deserves to be appreciated. Scenes from an Italian restaurant, Michael, put us in a New York state of mind. There's another Billy Joel song, thanks to the one and only Billy Joel. Now, overnight, the first part of a two-part documentary premiered. Now, where was it, you ask? Well, that requires yet another Billy Joel song, Uptown Girl, because it was uptown at the Beacon Theater to kick off the Tribeca Film Festival. Now, this doc is called Billy Joel and So It Goes. Joel unfortunately could not attend due to the recent diagnosis of a rare brain disorder. It caused him to cancel his upcoming concerts, which is when we all became kind of aware of it. But we have some good news delivered by the film director, Susan Lacey and Jessica Levin, ahead of the screening just last night. Now, they said, in a simple phrase, he will be back, which is encouraging. Along with a short message from the longest-time singer himself, getting old sucks, but it's still preferable to getting cremated. I love you, Billy Joel. Tribeca co-founder Robert De Niro gave an introduction saying, Billy may be considered the poet laureate of New York. You feel the essence of our city in his lyrics, and it's true. Billy, you are loved just the way you are.
Indeed, he is.
He sure is.
And we're excited to see him back, and we wish him well. And we'll be right back.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. New overnight. President Trump brings back his travel ban, blocking people from a dozen countries from entering the U.S., adding restrictions to 7 others. The fallout this morning.
Do weight loss drugs weaken your birth control? The new reports and safety guidance this morning. Dr. Tara Narula is here to break it down.
And as the Thunder and Pacers get set to tip off tonight in Game 1 of the NBA Finals, we're celebrating a GMA sideline superhero who helps her school score big. We've got a slam dunk surprise for her. As we say, good morning, America.
Live from Times Square, it's Thursday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. Happy Friday Eve, everybody. Fathers, they are here in full force this morning for Deals and Steals. Tori Johnson's with 6 dads who are small business owners. They're bringing us bargains and everyday favorites.
The dadas are in the house. Also ahead, that's what my son Leo would say at least. The new warning about pregnancy and weight loss drugs. Dr. Tara Narula is here to break it down. And we have the new reports and the safety guidance.
We're going to begin, though, with a look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the new travel ban to the U.S. imposed by President Trump on a dozen countries. I want to go back to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning again, George. Well, this is a dramatic escalation in the president's crackdown on immigration. Trump now reviving and expanding one of his most controversial policies, targeting 12 countries with a full travel ban, citing national security concerns, impacting mostly travelers from the Middle East and Africa. Another 7 countries will face partial travel restrictions. The White House says they're targeting countries that lack proper vetting, fail to share identity and threat information, or exhibit high visa overstay rates. Now, these new restrictions are reminiscent of Trump's 2017 travel ban on several Muslim-majority countries. It was one of the most chaotic orders of his first term. That effort, of course, faced swift legal challenges and was heavily restricted by the courts. But Trump promised on the campaign trail that he was going to revive this. Now, this new ban is much broader in scope, though it does include many of the same countries, and it is also likely to face swift legal challenges. Michael.
I'm sure it will there, Mary. Thank you for that. And we're going to turn now to the new warning about popular weight loss drugs. Health regulators are saying that these medications may impact the effectiveness of birth control. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, joins us with more. And Doc, good morning to you.
Good morning.
First of all, at the UK health official, they're warning Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, all those things may reduce the effectiveness of birth control pills. So can you explain why these drugs could lead to unintended pregnancies and what women should do to protect themselves if they're on it?
Absolutely. This is the first time we're really seeing a regulatory agency speaking out about this. But we've heard talk about this, particularly on social media and online in this country, women dubbing them Ozempic babies. So what is going on? There's really two things happening potentially. We know from clinical trials and research that being obese, overweight, or having syndromes like PCOS can decrease your fertility. So with these drugs inducing a weight loss, you're essentially changing your menstrual cycle, your ovulation, and increasing your chances of getting pregnant. The second issue is that oral contraceptive pills work. We take them by mouth, they get absorbed in our body, but these drugs, the GLPs, work by changing our gut motility. Also, these drugs can cause nausea and vomiting and diarrhea in some cases. So you can put those two together and see how the GLP drugs changing your gut motility and potentially affecting absorption of oral contraceptive pills could cause you to also see an increase in fertility. So not surprising by these two mechanisms, we might be seeing babies born in women on these drugs.
But these drugs are not recommended during pregnancy or while you're trying to conceive. So what are the risks if someone does become pregnant?
And that's the really important point here. I think a lot of women don't know about this, but actually both of these drugs, Wegovy and Zepbound, carry a risk warning on their label that says you should not take these while pregnant. We don't study pregnant women in trials. We just don't normally do that. It's not considered safe. But what we know from animal studies is that there can be some birth defects, growth restriction, and even miscarriage in some animal studies that have happened with these drugs. And so the recommendation is if you are pregnant, if you get pregnant while on these drugs, you should stop the drugs. If you're planning to get pregnant, you need to stop them 2 months before, because it takes 2 months to wash out. And then you should consider using a backup barrier method, whether that's condoms or some other form of barrier contraception that's non-hormonal if you're taking the birth control pill to protect yourself.
All right, Doc, thank you, as always, for the great advice. We appreciate you. And coming up in our GMA morning menu, SportsCenter anchor Jay Harris is here to reveal some very personal news.
Also ahead, dietitian and nutritionist Rachel Beller is here to help us make healthy choices when we're on the go.
And we'll Reeve at a high school in Oklahoma with a basketball coach and a huge Oklahoma City Thunder fan. She's about to get a big surprise. And Sam, you got a special guest upstairs.
And just like that, fans are split, by the way, because we're going to ask you, whose closet would you rather shop in? Carrie Bradshaw or Lisa Todd Wexley? Nicole Ari Parker, do you want to weigh in?
I don't think I could afford either one. I mean.
We'll get the insight on the show. We're so excited for you.
Thank you.
All coming up right here on GMA.
And we are back now with our GMA cover story, joined by a familiar face to millions from ESPN. We have SportsCenter anchor Jay Harris here with us. And Jay, good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
And I know that you have some very personal news you want to share.
I was diagnosed with prostate cancer. I'm having surgery on Tuesday, and I'll be away from SportsCenter for about a month to recover. And then I'm coming back better than ever.
Well, that's what we expect you to come back better than ever. And sorry to hear about that you have prostate cancer, but what is the prognosis for that?
My doctor's quite optimistic. Per my last scan, nothing has spread. So once we, take out the prostate, hopefully that'll be it. That's the goal.
And how do you hope by sharing this story you're going to inspire men, especially black men, to have this conversation, to check on their health?
Because we don't talk. I mean, I was at a golf trip with some buddies of mine. And we were just sitting around talking about things that, that I probably can't talk about on television right now.
Of course. I'm a golfer too. Yeah.
And, I mentioned the news to him. I told him what was going on with me. And then the conversation from there was fantastic. We talked about doctor's appointments and ailments and family histories and things that we wouldn't have had a conversation about because, I figured I needed to share. Because we all need to talk about these things because we all have them in our families. Mm-hmm. And by not talking about them, we just really, I hate to be morbid, we sentence ourselves to death for not talking.
And they had no idea until you brought it up.
They had no idea until I brought it up.
But this is something you said it's in families. It can be. This is generational.
My dad had it. My cousin told me that some folks on my dad's side of the family that I didn't know have it. So I mean, yeah, it's there. It's there, and we need to know. I probably overshare with my 26-year-old son, but he has to know,
Well, it's nothing. Yeah, he definitely has to know because now it's a part of his family history. Should definitely know that. And I do agree with you. These conversations are so important because as men, we kind of hide behind toughness, and we don't share. We and a lot of times hate to feel vulnerable around our friends and family.
That is true, especially when it comes to things like below the belt. You don't want to talk about any of that stuff because, you know, we're men and we're virile and all that stuff. But we are human beings, and we need to take a cue from the ladies. Yeah. Because they go see OBGYNs early. Maybe we need to do something like that too. I mean, we have October's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is fabulous. I did not even know that September was Prostate Cancer Awareness Month.
I didn't either until you just let me know.
So September, wear your blue tie for prostate cancer awareness. I mean, we need to get the message out. People need to know. We need to talk about it. It doesn't have to be a death sentence. For most folks, it is not. So, yeah, that's why I'm here, to just spread some awareness.
And we know other SportsCenter anchors, Hannah Storm, Brian Custer, they've had their battles as well.
My buddies.
Yeah. Have they been a big help to you, and if so, how?
I anchor mostly with Hannah, so she asked me about my every day.
Fantastic.
She's fantastic. Every day, how you doing? How you doing? Make sure you do this. Make sure you do that. Brian also had the surgery years ago, so Brian has told me things that maybe some things I didn't want to hear, but he's like, I'm giving you real talk because you need to know. So I appreciate that. Those two and the V Foundation. I mean, folks have been great. And every time I talk to someone, they go, oh, yeah, my uncle had it, or my cousin has it, or my father-in-law has it. You want me to give him your number? He can talk to you, because everybody's been so welcoming. I love that part.
And I think it's so good, like you when we were talking earlier this morning, I tell you my father went through his situation as well and came out on the other side of it. And it's great when someone says, yeah, my uncle, my father, they can talk to you, which means that they are better from it.
Absolutely.
And we know that you're going to be in that same boat. You're going to be giving advice to people for a long time to come. And I love that you're here sharing your story, because it's very hard to talk about yourself in a national TV audience when it's something that's personal.
It is. No, I like being on that side, to be honest, asking the questions. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you're not taking my spot, man. You got a job. You got a job. You can't have mine, Jay. Nope. I'm here to stay.
What I'm talking about.
And another thing that people can't see is that your family's here with you, and have that support from your family is so important in everything in times like this especially.
Absolutely. It's a blessing.
Yeah.
All the way around. A true blessing.
Well, it's a blessing to have you here.
Thank you, man.
And we appreciate you, Jay.
Thank you.
And
if you call out sick one day,
for you, my friend.
just let me know.
I will. Definitely will. I'll let you know. I need to keep my job.
Life is about to get suddenly better, because we're here with dietitian, nutritionist, and best-selling author of the book Spice Rack, Rachel Beller, who is here with us and has delicious ways, really, to up your summer travel recipes and help you eat healthy while you're on the go. But I think you can do this at home, too. Rachel, welcome back. It's so nice
great
to
be
see
here. So great to be here.
All right, I'm, first of all, doing all of this, so snuggle up next to the screen, because this is all so good. Let's start with breakfast, because that's what people are having right now.
That's what they're having right now. And you know what? When we're traveling, we want to feel empowered with what we're taking with us. How you start your day sets the tone for the rest of the day. So what I've got here is my morning boost bowl. And what it has is sprouted rolled oats, good for digestion, beta-glucans, immune support. Then we've got ground flaxseed. We're thinking about a fiber booster.
Good. Need a little fiber, need a little fiber.
Then we've got our morning boost. You got to smell this. This is the Beller Nutrition Morning Boost Blend. And it is
that smells so nice.
Great way to sprinkle on the goodness.
I like it.
Ceylon cinnamon organic, allspice ginger, nutmeg, clove. So good. Infuse it with antioxidants, anti-inflammatory properties, and then you've got hemp hearts for protein, or you can bring protein powder, walnuts, omega-3s, fiber, so much goodness.
But I can also do this at home. I don't have to wait to travel to do that, right?
Yes, you can take it in eco-friendly packs, then you add your milk, wherever you're at your destination, a little bit of fruits. You're
Boom,
done.
ready to go.
Ready to go.
Everybody talks about hydration, but I like that you're giving me something more than just, hey, drink a gallon of water. You're giving me some things.
Simple. You can fetch dry fresh mint and ginger anywhere you go, and you want to hydrate with intention. Again, sets the tone in your mind. So the mint helps with digestion, helps us decrease that bloat. Ginger helps us potentially with reducing muscle soreness. If you're working out, you can drink it warm, chilled.
It's delicious.
A winner.
And I'm not bloated anymore. Look at that. It just happened.
And it's affordable.
This bothers me so much, because I stand in the airport and I look at all that food to eat, and I can't eat any of it. So, and if you buy even the bags of things that look healthy, they've got stuff in it.
Stuff in it. It's so expensive. And this is so simple. So what we've got here is a Berry Crunch Kamut mix. So a single ingredient puffed kamut, super crunchy, delicious. You've got some slivered almonds.
Kamut? I don't even know that. I'm into it.
This is so good. So good. You got almonds, you got freeze-dried fruit.
That's great.
Yes, and it's just great. You just take these with you. It's so light and portable, and it's
And this
a
is in the
win-win.
book?
Yes.
Okay, good.
And then here, I never get on a flight without this. This is fantastic.
What is
These
this
are my
beautiful thing?
golden carrot spiced hummus.
Okay.
So you slice up carrots like coins.
I like
You have
carrots.
your
I like
hummus,
hummus.
and then we're gonna sprinkle on the goodness with sumac. At Bella Nutrition, we have a super sumac, which is amazing. We also have the Morning Boost blend, a special thing going on right now, actually. And it is great, so easy.
You just saved me because I always put this on crackers, and now I'm going to do it on carrots. I never thought to do it on carrots.
It's so satisfying, and the sumac aids with digestion, releases digestive
You get the
enzymes.
crunch.
You're comfy also. You're not bloated on that flight.
I'm even less bloated than I was a second ago over there. All right, now, I am not drying fruit. I love you.
Me neither.
But I'm not.
I love you too, but I
wouldn't. So how do I do this?
I wouldn't do that to you. This is a tropical power crunch. So what I have here is I have dried roasted chickpeas. You can buy them ready, dried, packed with fiber and protein.
They're great too.
Yes, and then you've got some no sugar added fruit. The combination of the protein and the fiber.
I have seen these in bags ready to go like that.
Yeah, but this is better because you've got it with the protein and the fiber.
No, I mean, but I've seen the fruit. Like you can buy the strawberries, you can buy without anything
No,
on
you're
it.
not drying this stuff. I wouldn't. I love you.
I know.
And then you're going to sprinkle on the goodness with some organic Ceylon cinnamon.
Okay.
Or I use the Morning Boost blend to further elevate. We're going to spice up our summer.
What are these again? These little crunchy things
These
are
are
fantastic.
chickpeas, and they're just dry, roasted, nothing added. You could just buy them just that way.
Wherever you are, wherever the camera is, yes to that. Yes to that. All right, now this looks even a little desserty.
This is a must. This is a keep me regular bites.
Okay.
So what we have here are dried plums.
Yeah.
Rich in both soluble and insoluble fiber. We need this when we travel. People beg me for this kind of stuff. And then we've added a little bit of hazelnut or walnut.
It looks like it's in a little cushion. Come on.
Yeah, and if you're
gorgeous.
hiking, this is so fantastic.
I am so into all this, Rachel. I really am. Thank you so much for this. You can get these recipes. Let's just pick up the book right here on goodmorningamerica.com, but you can also get them in Spice Rack. George, what's going on?
Thanks very much. We're going to turn now to our Sideline Superheroes. It's a series where we shine a light on coaches making big impacts in their community. This morning, we'll read at Pryor High School in Pryor, Oklahoma. He's got one coach making a very big difference. Hey, Will.
Hello, George. I am at Pryor High School here in Oklahoma, and I am with Lori Martin. She is a math teacher. She's an assistant basketball coach. She was actually named District Teacher of the Year last year, and the basketball team has had a whole bunch of success making the state tournament, winning a bunch of titles. There's banners all over this amazing gym in here. Everyone, you guys love your coach. Let's hear it for Coach Lowe here. All right. So, Coach Lowe, thank you for joining us at this early hour in this beautiful gym. Describe what your experience has been teaching and coaching these girls here.
Sure. It's been an amazing experience at Pryor. I am very blessed to coach and teach here. Our girls are amazing. They work hard. They really put all effort into it. They show grit. They show a lot of determination. And they're such a blessing. And then our facilities are amazing.
They are.
And also our school's amazing. We have great administration. And so our kids are able to do a ton of things here at Pryor.
Speaking of administration, Dr. Elsman, you are the principal here.
Yes.
Thank you for opening up your school.
Absolutely.
To talk about Lori here, how would you describe the impact that coach, teacher Lori Martin has had on this school and on these students?
She's amazing. I mean, I think first and foremost, it's her passion. She brings a ton of energy, positive energy, and a competitive spirit to everything she does. She is somebody who I think embodies a growth mindset. She's always pushing people to be confident in what they're doing and to take risks and try new things. And on top of that, she's just a fantastic role model. I think as a mom and a wife and a professional, she balances all those things well. And we're just so proud of her and so excited to celebrate her this morning.
That's lovely. So are we. And Coach, you had me working in the layup line there. You're clearly a very good coach and a great teacher. The girls seem to love you, but what have you learned from your players and your students in your career?
That's a great question. I've learned humility. When I first started coaching, I've been coaching for 31 years, and when I first started coaching, I thought I knew a whole lot. And so I've learned a lot from them. I've learned about persistence and grit, and determination, and you know, just being able to guide them and have conversations with them has been amazing.
Yeah.
It's just been a great journey.
Well, that's fantastic. And we are in Oklahoma. It is game 1 of the finals tonight. So let's talk a little ball. You're a basketball coach. Are you a Thunder fan?
Yes.
Yeah, big time?
100%.
Yeah, we're a bit far though from like Pryor's. How far away are we from Oklahoma City right now?
A couple hours.
Yeah, it's kind of tough. So do you get to many games?
No.
No. Okay. Well, let's change that. Where did my little iPad go? We have a message here. You like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander?
My favorite player.
He's your favorite player. Well, you're his favorite teacher and coach. Take a look at this.
Hey, Lori, Shai here. I heard you're a big fan. Thank you so much for the love and support. I can't wait to see you at Game 1 of the Finals.
You are going to Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight. You can wear your Shai Gilgeous-Alexander jersey. You're going. So there you go.
Yay.
Everyone, give it up for Coach. At the NBA. Shai heard about you. He was super excited for you. That is yours. We're going to get you the tickets.
Thank you.
Start the car because we got a bit of a drive to OKC for Game 1. All right, guys.
Thank you.
Hey, guys, get back. Thank you, Will. Congratulations. Yes. All of you at home can watch Game 1 of the NBA Finals tonight at 8:30 Eastern right here on ABC. And coming up, we're counting down to Father's Day and deals and steals with more dad-owned businesses.
It is day 2 of Deals and Steals brought to you by Founding Fathers. You know, all of these companies were created by dads, and those dads are all joining us this morning, along with our Tori Johnson. Good morning to you all, dads. Good morning to you, Tori. And I'm standing here with a paddle, because we got paddle smash. I got my man Scott right here.
That's right. Let's see. Go
Talk
for
me
it.
about it.
Go
Come
for
on.
it.
I'm
Bring
going
the
to here a little bit. See what you got. Here we go.
So Scott,
all right, okay.
This
Comes aggressive right out of the gate.
I tried to go
This combines two favorites.
It's basically a love child of pickleball and spike ball. So, you know, paddle smash you can play anywhere. You don't have to find a court. You can play it in your backyard, at the beach, at the park, tailgating.
In the TV studio.
Yeah, it's basically pickleball to go. So it's a great backyard game for your friends and family.
It's fun, little exercise too.
A little exercise, little workout.
Yeah. So if you want to level up your fun this summer, this is the game to buy. All of these things, by the way, are not just Father's Day. These are every single day, especially when the whole set all ready to go is slashed in half. So thank you, Scott.
50% off? Okay.
Yeah,
all right. I'm going to be paddle smashing this summer. There we go.
Now we're getting to probably our favorite lamps of all time.
Yes.
Zafrano lamps. They're touch dimming, on, off. They're Italian design. Details are beautiful, and you can take them anywhere you want to go with them.
And I love you can set the mood, too.
Yes, you have 3 color temperature settings.
I know.
You can
What
make
did
them
you say?
romantic.
Well, you know, you get them lower, you set the mood. You get
Make your night last longer.
Make the night last longer.
But what's amazing is indoors, outdoors. So from by your bedside or for your outdoor evening barbecue, whatever it is, this does the job.
Pick it up. Feel how heavy the weight is.
That's a great idea. It is heavy to hold itself down. But I need one of these for my nightstand.
Your nightstand.
Because all my plugs are plugged in. I can't even use my lamp.
That's right.
So you bring light where you want it. We have beautiful colors, different styles we've added this time. And we have these hand-woven shades that can go on the lamps and decorate and create a different mood.
You know what else you brought us? 50% off and free
my
shipping.
50% free shipping.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
That's great what matches my
Peter,
decor.
You told me this is the best olive oil ever that comes from your family estate.
Absolutely, yeah. I'm a 5th generation olive oil producer. Proud dad of the 6th generation. Our high phenolic olive oil right here is loaded with polyphenols. It's what we call the world's healthiest olive oil, because for the past 4 years, we've held the title as #1 in the world for oleocanthal content, proven by science and chemical analysis.
Let's see what Michael thinks. Hey, we'll get a little string.
Which one?
Either one. You want salt, plain olive oil?
I want that one that's holly.
You want the good stuff?
I want the good
really
stuff,
good
man.
stuff?
It's strong. It's strong.
It's strong.
I am too.
That's
good, man.
Yeah. And then we have our cold fused flavored olive oils. These are not artificially flavored. This is all natural, all healthy. We're taking fresh olives and fruits and herbs, crushing them together with a proprietary process. We've won over 200 awards, and we're just getting started with
Over
these.
200.
Level up your cooking, you guys, because everything is 50% off. He's going for seconds.
I'm just making sure, Tori. You know what I'm saying?
For seconds, you know it's good. All right, Burl and Barrel. I'm so excited by this because I have this in my kitchen, so I'm bringing it to GMA for the first time. Everyday staples that are anything but ordinary.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the best spices in the world. This is royal cinnamon. This is a real cinnamon stick. Cinnamon is tree bark. If you want to taste that little dish of cinnamon, just on a little on your finger. People tell us this is like tasting cinnamon for the first time. Super sweet and spicy.
Wow.
This is a rare species. We're the only company to import it into the U.S. This is our smoked paprika from Spain. Pepper smoked over oak for 2 weeks. They just soak up all of that smoky flavor. Perfect for barbecue, grilling, roasting, stews, tomato sauces, anything. We have our garlic powder, our cumin, our herbs de Provence, a blend from France of 4 different herbs. Great for a roast chicken, great for salads. I mean, truly, yeah, feel free.
If we can't have you to come home and cook for us, at least we can do this.
Exactly.
The flavors are insane, and everything is 50% off. Get in on this one.
I'm going home with some good stuff.
It's good.
The dad showed up today. I'm going home with some good stuff today.
Pain relief anytime, anywhere.
Hey, how's it going? Mike, last time we were here, we did some massage products for you. We got the RPM Mini. This is a handheld massager. Any sore muscles, it's going to roll them out for you. It's a rolling massage, not percussive. So
okay, you let
take
him
that
take
for a
that.
spin.
You take that.
Then for your back, you got this wheel. You just hop down on the ground, slide it behind your back, and just roll out. Get that nice back popping relief. It feels so good after a long day of doing anything, especially with the kids. So this is what you need. Yeah.
You know, this is great. I love that the rotation of this.
Oh yeah.
Not
So instead
just-
of a massage gun, this rolls and spins, and so it covers more area of the muscles, and it feels fantastic. So
it feels
you need that
really
with
good.
It feels fantastic, and the prices are really fantastic because Clayton's hooked us up with everything from Chirp at 50% off.
Whoa!
We love it. We love it. All right, Michael, now we're moving on to perhaps one of our GMA favorites.
Doc,
of
how
all
you doing?
time. Dr. Nassif is here. So if we can't go under the scalpel and we can't get to your med spa, we can still get the med spa-like results with 3 particular favorites.
Oh yeah, I mean this actually is going to do everything. Exfoliate, cleanse, firm, hydrate, moisturize, help with fine lines and wrinkles, texture, and by the way, you can use this with any other skincare line that you want. So first of all, this trio, detox pads, over 2.5 million sold, and you can actually swipe and glow. So it's anti-aging, exfoliating, cleansing.
Who are you? I barely recognize you
Right
already.
now, look at that difference. One, just launched the niacinamide with 300 biopeptides, especially from the superfood cranberry. So you're gonna do this second. And by the way, and this is for everyone, you can start this whatever gender you are, even any age. Start even the late teenagers can actually get on skincare. Start with this, number 2. Finally, and then we're gonna go with the Hydro Screen.
Okay.
This is gonna actually basically volumize any wrinkles on your face. It's gonna plump, hydrate, and it's got bakuchiol, a very alternative form of retinol. And that's gonna be careful on your skin.
You got us covered. The
There we
whole
go, everything.
assortment is phenomenal. And you know what else Dr. Nassif brought for us? 50% off and
free shipping.
You got it.
Hey, none of you botched it at all. That was great. I love you so much. Hey, thank you, dads. We appreciate you all. Incredible stuff. I'm going home with something from everyone. I'm just going to put it all in my suit jacket pocket if I can make it work. All right, you know, we partner with these companies on all of these great deals. Make sure you go to goodmorningamerica.com to find these deals. And if you missed yesterday's deals from dads, you can still save on those too.
Now with Nicole Ari Parker, one of the stars of the Sex and the City spinoff, and Just Like That, which just premiered its 3rd season. Nicole, it is so great to see you. Good morning.
Good morning. Good to see you too.
And you brought the fashion today. We love it. Love the sparkle too that you have on your hands there.
Thank you.
And the fashion. Thank you. Let me take a moment. Well, Boucheron, yes. Well, a lot of people are obviously into the show, not only for the plot lines, but also for the fashion.
Oh, yeah.
And there's that Carrie cloud hat that everybody was talking about.
Everybody.
And I wondered if your character, Lisa Todd, would be interested in wearing that cloud hat. What would she make of it?
Well, you know, I love that hat. I'm a floppy hat girl in real life. I mean, LTW is in her world of her own.
Lisa Todd Wexley.
Yes, Lisa Todd Wexley. Her closet is just, I mean, I'm so jealous.
She has an amazing, you're jealous of her. What, is there one piece from her closet that you would just love to have in your own? Everything.
Even, I always say, even the stuff that's in the purse, like the props.
Oh, yeah, because they put, it's stuff in there.
The sunglass case, the car keys, there's no car. And it's just, everything is fantastic.
And they source it from all over the world.
All over the world.
Which is the coolest
thing.
Let's talk a little bit about family, because you told me when we were talking during the break that this was all shot last year. And you were able to fit in your son's graduation while you were shooting here in New York. First of all, how do you make it all work like that? But secondly, can you believe he's graduated?
I know. It's one of my, it's amazing how productions are, like so many people to do one scene and they couldn't reschedule it. But we were shooting in Harlem, not too far from my son's graduation. And so they blocked out a time for me to literally arrive, to see him walk across the stage and then hug me. And then he came to set and said, "Thank you, Mama, for coming."
And speaking of mom, we should say hi to your mom, because she's watching, right?
Yes, yes. Hi, Mommy. Hi, Mommy.
Well, I bet your mom and everyone who's watching right now would like to see a clip. Let's take a look.
Oh my, great hit. Great hit. You rocked it, Asher! Great hit. It was a single. Are you with the Huskies?
In a sense, yes. My son is also an athlete at Arbor. He plays lacrosse. He'll be a senior next year.
A senior?
Mm-hmm.
I see what's going on here.
My kids are probably laughing. Yeah. My kids, I'll squeeze my kids details into every conversation. You could be like, "So, how was your day?" Funny you should ask. My son's playing the World Cup this summer in Switzerland. Whatever.
And we're wishing him well with that, by the way.
Thank you. But this is really a great scene, and to work with Kirsten Shaw, it was incredible. And just parents dealing with trying to get their kids the best possible chance at the best college, and we were doing a little shenanigans, and yeah, it was fun.
And plus the jacket. The jacket was everything.
Oh yeah, that's LTW on Tuesday. I was saying this before, that the thing I love about her is that she doesn't save the outfit, right? She wears it. There's no it's like, this is today. I need a necklace.
And the friendships on the show, they're real, which is, I find that so important. If you know and love the people that you work with, really, it comes across. So you've been friends with Sarita Chowdhury. Am I right? Has this been 25 years?
Yes. If Two Broke Girls was a show in New York, that would be
you were the inspiration.
Yeah, we were the inspiration for the show. We were struggling actors. We met on an independent film audition, and we've been best friends ever since. Yeah.
You know, she's here tomorrow.
Really?
So what are we asking her?
Oh my God.
Oh, that's good.
That's good. You should ask her, because she's Indian and British, and she lived in Italy, so she has a beautiful accent. Ask her, what sentence does Nicole always say, just like you? And she'll know.
Okay. That's going in the bank. We're definitely asking her that. There's also this text chain, I understand, among the women on the show, behind the scenes.
Yes.
Who spends the most time with emojis? Are you an emoji girl?
I type my sentences the way I talk. I'm a little dots.
Oh, you do.
Dashes.
I'm dashes.
I do a lot of dashes
however,
in my sentence.
Comma. I have
Are
little,
you a multiple
space.
text person too, where instead of the long text, you do lots and lots of them? Who does that in the bunch?
Oh, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm more of a one word, then a little explanation of the one word, and then another word.
Well, we appreciate you joining us so much this morning.
And episode 2 airs tonight.
Episode 2 tonight, and the new episodes, this is where you can find them. And just like that, they debut Thursdays at 9 p.m. Eastern on Max. Thank you so much, Nicole.
Thank you.
All right, Ginger, over to you.
Thank you so much. All right, so now I want to introduce you to Pluto first, because he's beautiful. But the Florida Panthers and Edmonton Oilers have already hit the ice for the Stanley Cup. But now the NHL's Stanley Pup is gearing up. Yep, yeah, Eddie gets it, to drop the puck for the second year in a row. 32 dogs will represent all 32 NHL teams, and almost all are adoptable, just like Pluto here from Second Chance Rescue. The game will feature special appearances of celebrity dog and hockey lovers, including Michael Bublé, Anthony Anderson, Tim Allen, and Will Reeve. So Will is back with us now. Will, you got in the rink as a bench boss, motivating the pups to do their best. Tell me, how was it?
Yeah, I don't know how motivated they were, Ginger. They were just kind of running around doing who knows what, but I had a fabulous time for a great cause. I am a huge fan of hockey and of dogs, so if you can get hockey and dogs together, I am in, especially because, as you mentioned, these dogs are shelter dogs. They are all adoptable. As a bench boss, I kind of just stood there and exhorted the adorable puppies to do whatever they wanted. I don't think my team won, but we all are winners for getting to be a part of this and for turning this into this great show, all in service of getting dogs adopted and celebrating the great game of hockey, which I have loved for so long. And I got in trouble for not bringing a shelter dog home to my fiance Amanda, so I will have to make that up to her at some point. And there you
now
go.
That's how you win. You will get it right eventually here, Will. Thank you so much, and thank you all. You know, the NHL Stanley Pup airs tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. on True TV and Max in advance of Game 2 of the 2025 Stanley Cup Final.
Coming up, writer and political analyst Molly Jong-Fast is here to tell us about her new memoir about growing up with her famous mother. We'll be right back.
We are back now with Molly Jong-Fast. Her new memoir is called How to Lose Your Mother. It's about growing up as the daughter of Erica Jong, the author behind the revolutionary 1973 novel Fear of Flying. Welcome. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Intensely personal novel, memoir, must have been hard to write. So why did you want to do it?
It was hard to write. And I did it because because this is the genre, right? I came from a literary tradition of you sit down at the computer and you open a vein, right? You tell everything. But when my husband got cancer and when things started to really go wrong in my life in 2023, I thought, this can help people. Like, I actually did think, like, I can barely get through this. I think writing will weirdly help me get through it. And then I was like, this is actually a pretty universal story.
For those who may not know, tell people about your mom.
So my mom is Erica Jong. She's a feminist author. She wrote a book called Fear of Flying in 1973. It hit at a moment when American women really needed
exploded.
Yeah. And remember, the pill had become legal in 1964, Roe v. Wade in 1973, and it was this moment of a sort of galvanized feminism, a second wave feminism, which went on to do great things, but unfortunately they were not able to codify the ERA, the Equal Rights Amendment, and I think ultimately that's where it went wrong.
She was a force, a celebrity, a lover of celebrity.
Yes.
She also contracted dementia.
Yes, she did. She started having memory problems. And then it was a question of what do you do? And as I was talking to my friends, basically all my friends are in this sandwich generation. And so, where you have these kids that you want to show up for, and you have these parents that you need to take care of. And the question is how? And it's so, even with advantages, I've had a lot of privileges, it's still a near impossible situation.
How are your mom and your husband doing right now?
So my husband is in remission, and it was like, and I think this book is really helpful when you have, at least I wrote it to be, helpful when you have a partner who has cancer. More than a third of all Americans will get cancer, which is an insane statistic. And we went through a lot of sort of back and forth about, what kind of, what treatments to do. We were at Sloan Kettering. It was an amazing experience. I write a lot about the doctor because she just was this fabulous doctor who really became kind of a part of our story. It turned out to be sort of the best case scenario, but because he was young and we were in this waiting room filled with older people, I had a lot of those feelings that you have about self-pity and why.
So what advice do you have? You're caring for your mom, you're caring for your husband. What advice do you have for these people caring with people who have serious health issues?
Put the oxygen mask on yourself first. really do, like the things that I did, and I had just small self-care rituals that kept me from going crazy. I mean, first of all, I have been sober since I was 19, and I always like to say that because I want to destigmatize alcoholism and talk about it. So I had some self-care rituals already from being sober, but I did things like I ate ice cream for dinner. It was so helpful, I just didn't worry about dinner. I just had an ice cream. I went to bed at 8:30. If you get, 8 hours, 9 hours of sleep, almost anything is doable.
Boy, it's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
Makes a huge, huge difference. I like that. Put the oxygen mask on yourself first.
100%.
Thank you for coming in. How to Lose Your Mother is available right now. Good day today. Thanks for watching, everyone.
Take care.